So, congratulations on the podcast.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it and what you do for the community, especially mga Pinoy rock dito sa Amerika na fini-feature mo. Nakakatuwa. Can you tell us more?
Well, Pinoy Rock USA, actually, I planned it since 2010. And the reason I planned it is because I'm part of the indie scene. Like New Day in August, with Grand Fool's Derby, with Beyond Baywalk. Tatlo banda ko in 2010.
Yes. Mamaya pag-uusapan natin yung tatlong bandang yan. Okay.
Well, and then I noticed that, it's not that these indie bands like ours have a chip on our shoulders, because we noticed that those that get promoted are the ones who are from the Philippines.
Right.
So kapag galing ka sa Pilipinas at sikat ka sa Pilipinas, malamang sa hindi sikat ka rin dito sa Amerika. And nangyayari, yung mga banda dito sa Amerika they get...
dito lang muna kayo sa tabi.
Kumbaga parang hindi kayo sikat sa Pilipinas, so front muna kayo. O kaya ganun. So I said, there needs to be a way for them to get promoted. Correct. There needs to be a way for their music to be heard, kasi ang dami magagaling na banda dito.
Sobra.
Dami, talagang...
Kayo na lang, New Day in August na lang, for instance. Like, I'm a fan, di ba?
Yes, okay. Of course, yeah. So, naisip ko, there has to be a way to promote them. And during that time, I initially planned to feature them on featured bands on Facebook.
2010 to, ha?
2010, wow. Yeah. But during that time, I wanted to do a radio station. But during 2010, there was no delivery mechanism. There was no reliable delivery mechanism. I think the only radio that I heard was Benji Colantes.
Okay.
He was doing his New Wave station. I think it was like once or twice a week. And then I saw how complicated it was. So in 2010, I only did like 2 articles, and then I stopped the site. Kasi,
so may site na talaga, 2010
there was a
pa
site
lang.
already in 2010. May Facebook page na. It was already planned.
Okay.
But again, pagdating doon sa radio station, there was... Because I can't feature music if I can't play the music.
Right.
So there needs to be a delivery mechanism. There's no delivery mechanism in 2010.
So frustrating.
Frustrating talaga. So I had to stop it and just continue plying my trade in the indie scene, di ba? And then I forgot all about it. And then happenstance, ikaw malaking parte nun eh. Kasi when you guested New Day in August.
Okay.
New Day in August, I said, okay, this... And then I watched your podcast. I said, okay, this is good. There's a way now to play the music. And then there's internet radio. Internet radio has matured.
I know.
There is a way now to play the music. You just upload the music and you just let it broadcast.
Isa sa mga ganyan, si Wolf Hemora, di ba?
Yes, exactly. I was seeing it at Wolf's Den Radio. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, now there's a delivery mechanism now.
Yes.
But I didn't have the time. That was I think that was in... Before Paco's place, I already saw that there was a delivery mechanism, but I didn't have the time. Then 2020 came. Then COVID came. Then the pandemic came. Right?
So,
there's time now. Unfortunately, yung mga masasamang mga pangyayari, nagkaroon ng magandang resulta. Kasi, and the one that triggered it is our guesting. Here.
Dito, sa Paco's place.
Okay, so I said, okay, maybe now is the time, because if I had time to come here and record a podcast and play
4 songs, 2-hour podcast, a day.
We finish past midnight.
Past midnight, yeah.
A couple of pizzas and a couple of shots of whiskey later. We got to finish it, right? So I said, okay, let's trigger it. Let's try it first.
Ang galing.
And you could just remember my first podcast was from an iPhone. You remember that? And I was like, okay, so let's just use the iPhone, try to get some recording in.
At least, di ba, top board lang. Masabi mo lang na, you know what, I've done episode 1, my pilots in the can, done.
Yes, and then I said, just edit it. Just edit it in Audacity. And then, nung pinlay ko nga, napakalakas kasi walang timpla. So I said, okay, so now I see that I could do this.
Right.
So let's try to see where we can go. So that was initially... what I wanted. And then I had this plan for Pinoy Rock USA wherein, okay, I do this podcast once a week, and then I broadcast radio, and then I feature bands. So that's the time. That was the 2 weeks after we guested. I was on a whirlwind of activity. I was contacting bands left and right.
Galing.
I was sending them private messages, and I was emailing them, asking them, okay, we have Pinoy Rock USA. We want to feature local bands. So all I want from you is your history, who your band members are, and if you have any demos, I want it. One of the first bands that replied back was Marvin. Marvin Rivera of Calle 143.
Shout out. He's been on the podcast already.
Yes.
Okay.
And malaki ang utang na loob ko sa kanya kasi he's a great aggregator.
Very good aggregator.
Yeah, so ang ano sa kanya, the fact is, actually no, now that I remember it, he was proactive. I didn't contact him personally. He was the one who reached out to me because I put out the first podcast and I was asking for bands to contact me. And that's what he did. He was one of the first bands not from Los Angeles that contacted me. I said, merong kanta yung may banda ako,
Calle 143, yeah.
May bago kaming original kung pwedeng mga feature. So I asked them information and I think they were like the second band that I featured. And the first band doesn't count because that's a placeholder. That was New Day in August. That was a placeholder kasi talagang gusto ko lang ipakita kung ano magiging itsura ng article. That's why I put them first. So technically, Calle 143 was the first band.